Today, the United States rejected accusations from Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro that the US is conspiring with anti-government protesters. Mr. Maduro ordered 3 US officials to leave the country within 48 hours, alleging they'd attempted to infiltrate universities. It comes after US Secretary of State John Kerry defended opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez and condemned violence against the demonstrators. For more on the tensions in Venezuela, I'm joined now by Michael Shifter. He's president of Inter-American Dialogue here in Washington. So, Michael, Venezuela, by expelling this US diplomats, is this a classic way of trying to divert attention away from the protests and problems at home?
Well, this has been used before by President Chavez when he was alive, and now President Maduro, and it's a reflex. It's a tactic that's been used to try to rally public support, nationalist sentiment. But with the problems in Venezuela that are so profound, economic problems, security problems, it's really doubtful that it's going to have much impact.
What's at the heart of these protests?
Well, it was started by the massive insecurity problems. Venezuela's been undergoing extreme violence, criminality that's really been out of control, and people are fed up and frustrated. The level of homicides have mounted. It has one of the highest murder rates in the world, and then it spread to other issues like the shortages of basic goods. It has the highest inflation in the world at 50%. So there's tremendous discontent in the sense that things were getting out of control, and so a section of the opposition decided to go to the streets.
And how is President Maduro governing when compared to Hugo Chavez? Is he losing his grip on the country?
Maduro does not have the same skill, he does not have the same charisma, and he doesn't have the same resources that Hugo Chavez had. Hugo Chavez was a very charismatic figure. He held the country together, all the factions within the government coalition, but also was just able to hold the country together in a much better way. Maduro does not have the political skill, and he's in an extremely weak position.
Now, the government blames the opposition leader for all of this. What's your take?
Well, the opposition is divided. A sector of the opposition decided to go to the streets. I think that they have a legitimate right in a democratic society to go to the streets to protest. Things have really gotten very, very bad there. There are other sections of the opposition that think it's better to wait for a while, not to go to the streets, and so it's not unified at this point. But I think this is a question of tactics and timing, and I think different sectors of the opposition have reached different conclusions.
Do you think that there are any concessions that Maduro is willing to make?
So far, the government has been very inflexible, and I don't see that he's about to do anything. Instead, he's becoming more hardline. I think he's going to crack down even more and tighten his grip on power, and I don't see any really space for negotiations at this point. And
what are the consequences for the Venezuelan economy of all of this?
The Venezuelan economy is in free fall, and it's likely to get even worse in the short term. There really is. It's a very, very severe situation, which is why I think there's enormous discontent and frustration.
Michael Shifter, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.